in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And the opener is ZL. And it looks like the approaches are pretty similar. Although Bergtroll is already pushing his pieces, spreading his pieces so to get the Tetris first. Lukens had to go for some delayed burning, so he is having to open the well and just gets his Tetris. Bergtroll is also running a similar situation into a similar situation right now. Okay, he got the defenses the other way around, so he has to keep burning. Bergtroll at 26,000, Lukens in the lead at 47. Lukens right now at 47,000. Tetris is ready. Bergtroll is ready as well. Let's see how these players do. Tetris for Lukens at 70,000, Bergtroll at 52. Tetris for Lukens at 93,000, Tetris ready, and another one to 116. Tetris for Bergtroll 97, so it's a single Tetris separation right now. Bergtroll at 197. Oh, bit of a couple misdrops there from Lukens. He needs to fix those. Bergtroll in the meantime with a clean board, but building high. So things getting a bit high for both players. Lukens, however, having to dig will take some time to get out of this, and there is a drought, so no quick lumber to lower the stacks. There is a Tetris finally for Bergtroll 125. Has taken a slight lead, but with the burns, Lukens takes it back. Bergtroll now running into some burn situation himself. So Lukens might have the opportunity here to take the lead back. Both players playing a bit high here. Lukens needs to be careful. Who gets lumbar? Managed to burn this down. Thank you very much for the subscription, Shazabel 13. Much appreciated. Remember that you can also contribute to the tournament directly through Matcherino. Oh my goodness, Lukens opens the well but blocks the well as lumber comes, so he needs to keep burning. 141 for Lukens and 180 for Bergtroll. So Bergtroll now in the lead. 30 Tetris from Lukens. He's now clean and ready to keep scoring. Tetris for Lukens again. 195, trying to reduce the deficit. That is for Bergtroll. 226. Lukens is setting up. Right now we get Bergtroll also getting ready. And there's a Tetris from Bergtroll. We have reached the midpoint. Very strong game from Bergtroll this time around. Lukens having to fix his board. Tetris ready. Bergtroll is clean. Lukens is getting a Tetris. 226 for Lukens and 252 for Bergtroll. This is getting pretty close between these two. We got a Tetris from Bergtroll maintaining the lead at 279. Lukens decides to go for the triple, and then the Tetris. 255 for Lukens and 279 for Bergtroll. We got Lukens trying to catch up, 281, but Bergtroll gets a Tetris right away to 305, so still a Tetris and change separating the players on the second half of the level. Tetris for Lukens is trying to catch up again, but Bergtroll responds with a Tetris of his own. Bergtroll having to go for some delayed burns, needs a J on the left. He might be able to go for a dirty, but decides just to go for the triple and gets Tetris not ready. He's going to burn. And now the game still in Bergtroll's favor at 359. Tetris for Lukens at 352. Pretty close still, as we have reached 100 lines and both players. Third line to go before 19. Hopefully, we'll be having a game going deep into the kill screen. Tetris for Lukens. Lukens now at 376. Bergtroll at 383. So very close game. Transition coming sooner for Lukens, who has 10 lines left now at 401, has taken a lead, but in an Untitled Tetris 424 for Lokense, 409 for Bergtroll. So Lokense now in the lead with 2 Tetrises to go before transition. Bergtroll still has room for up to 4 Tetris for Bergtroll. He's gonna burn some more lines. So likely to, yeah, still has room for up to 3 more Tetris. Transition at 471 for Lokense. Bergtroll is at 457. Bergtroll getting Tetris ready, has room for up to 2 more Tetrises. He's gonna burn, so only 1 Tetris available to him. Goes for the double and the Tetris transitioning at 484, takes the lead. Looking as he's gonna get the Tetris to 500, so it's gonna be neck and neck still. And the board's looking clean for transition. Bergtroll decided to just clean up and get back to the right side for the well. Bergtroll at 490. That is for Bergtroll. 515. Looking in the lead at 529. Looking goes for the triple. That is for Looking 563. Bergtroll at 543. Line difference is approaching 10, so Bergtroll is 1 level behind Lukense, so he can make up for some pace advantage, but still, yeah, the game is pretty even. We got a slight lead now for Bergtroll at 597, Lukense at 578. Looks like no Lombard has come for either player in a while. And there's a Tetris finally for Bergtroll and another for Lokense, another for Lokense to 642 taking the lead. Bergtroll at 631. Pretty close game here happening. Tetris for Lokense maintain the lead at 672. Bergtroll with a bit of an unbalanced board. Oh, he couldn't reach the left side, and this might be fatal. Topping out at 635. Lokense takes game number 2. And he's 1 game away from eliminating Bergtroll for good. We'll see if Bergtroll will recover. Players, let me know when you're ready. Yep, both players ready. Let's go for game number 3 in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Vamos aquí. And Bergtroll and Lokense are right now on the 3rd game. We'll see if Bergtroll will be able to take a game from Lokense, as he's been having some struggles at the 19 speeds despite having leads at times in the early game. We got Lokense and Bergtroll pretty close to each other, although Bergtroll has been burning a bit more, I think. Yeah, Lokense is starting to build a lead as he is able to keep the board Tetris ready. Tetris for Lokense, Tetris for Bergtroll, Bergtroll at 50,000 and Lokense at 91. So 2 Tetris lead here from Lokense. He's gonna get ready for another Tetris for Bergtroll 74, trying to reduce the gap. Ooh, that T didn't go over for Lokense, but otherwise he remains Tetris ready. Needs just to be watchful for a Lombard dependency on the left side. We'll see what's going on. Oh, he is having to block the well. He's getting a bit high. Nice T placement to open up, but still needs to clean up a little bit more. Oh, decides to adjust for that square to allow for additional burning on the right side. Needs a long war kind of soon. Goes for a double. Keeps lowering the stack. Nice placement. Tetris for Bergtroll. Bergtroll 107. Lokense remains in the lead at 130. Tetris for Lokense. Lokense at 153. Bergtroll 107. So 2 Tetris separating the players. Lokense start to get ahead in lines as he had to burn high. His Tetris ready. Tetris for Bergtroll. Catching up. 129. Lokense at 154. So separated by Tetris and change. Tetris for each player. 177 for Lokense and 152 for Bergtroll. Locente is setting up. Tetris is ready. That is for Locente. Locente now at 201. Bergtroll at 153. Things are getting ugly on both ends. So just a matter of getting a lumbar, but the lumbar is just coming. There we go. Both players each getting a Tetris, and another for Locente maintaining a lead at 253. Bergtroll with 179. So we got Locente and Bergtroll now reaching the midpoint of the level. Locente with a more comfortable position at 275 already. Bergtroll is waiting for a lumbar, goes for a double, and another to keep the board clean and ready. Bergtroll is waiting for the lumbar, that is for Locente. Bergtroll at 231, Locente 321. So Bergtroll is starting to fall behind a little bit as Locente has been able to play more efficiently. Okay, looks like Lorenzo will have to do some discipline, but those pieces are perfect. He's back into scoring position. Tetris for Lorenzo. Lorenzo at 347. Bergtroll 256. Tetris for Bergtroll. Bergtroll at 279. Lorenzo at 347. Bergtroll is adjusting for that lumbar, and there's a Tetris for Bergtroll 303. Lorenzo 370 gets a Tetris to 393. So four Tetrises lead almost pretty much for Lorenzo as we are approaching 100 lines. Bergtroll is ready, gets a Tetris 328. Lorenzo he had to go for additional burns. Oh, decides to get the right pieces and gets a Tetris. 417 for Lokense gets another one to 440. Bergtroll at 328. This is getting a bit high for Bergtroll. He needs to be careful. There he goes, gets the Lombard Tetris for Bergtroll 352. Lokense already reaching 100 lines at 440. Bergtroll needing to open his well. Tetris for Lokense now at 463. So over 100,000 points lead, almost 5 Tetris ahead. Tetris for Bergtroll. Bergtroll at 401 trying to reduce the gap to just under 4 Tetrises. Bergtroll is needing to get ready. Lombard comes a bit early. He's ready just now. Lokense had a spire building. Has a Lombard defense in column 5. He might build on it. We'll see if he does. Not quite getting the pieces he needs to get into scoring position. This is an opportunity for Bergtroll to reduce his the gap. And so far, looks like Bergtroll is ready. Broken's had to burn, and he's gonna build again. Looks like. Yep. Transition coming soon for Lokense. Has one Tetris available. Bergtroll has still 10 lines to go, so up to 3 Tetrises to go, but he's gonna go for the double, so only 2 Tetris available to him. Tetris for Bergtroll. Bergtroll at 476. Lokense at 521. That is for both players transitioned at the same time. That is for Bergtroll, that is for Lokense. 574 Lokense, 524 for Bergtroll. Players keep going. Look at this, that is ready. At 571, Bergtroll gets a Tetris. Tetris 4 Lokense. They are pretty much at equal footing lines-wise. Tetris 4 Bergtroll. Bergtroll at 577, just one Tetris away, less than one Tetris away. Tetris for both again. 622. Tetris for Lokense 649. Bergtroll 603. This is getting pretty close. Back this last opportunity Bergtroll has 630. Bergtroll is trying to build. Tetris for Lokense 676. Bergtroll needing a square on the left side. Decides not to wait for it. And he's ready for the Tetris. Lokense at 679. Bergtroll 634. Tetris and a half, pretty much separating the players. Bergtroll and Lokense trying to fight this. Oh, Bergtroll going a bit too aggressive, blocks the well, gets the well open. Tetris for Bergtroll 678 right now. Lokense is starting to be the lead again. That's 720. Oh, Bergtroll with a bit of a rough board. This is looking dangerous. Bergtroll at 673. Lokense 723. Tetris for Bergtroll, 705 into level 24. Lokense maintain the lead at 729. But Lokense is unable to get that hole open on time. Bergtroll running into some trouble himself at the top. He needs a lumber, and the lumber is not coming. He goes for a double. Oh, this is getting dangerous. There's a Tetris for Bergtroll. Lokense building up high. He needs to be careful. 741 for Bergtroll. Bergtroll goes for a double, takes the lead. 743. Lokense at 739, so this is very close. Bergtroll maintain the lead for now, but this is just by a single, so this can go either way, and Lokense is back into a clean board, so Lokense is able to take the lead again, 783, and another one to 815. Bergtroll is still burning here in level 26, so the game is going to speed up soon. Bergtroll at 767, Lokense at 818. Bergtroll likely to build on the left side. We'll see. He might need to up the aggression. There he go. Oh no, the lumber doesn't go over, but he gets another one. Oh my goodness. And that was a close call for Bergtroll. Bergtroll at 812, Lokense at 860. We are about to reach transition to level 29. Bergtroll is trying to switch back to the right. Well, he's gonna play it safe a little bit. Oh, Lokense with a bit of a misdrop on that L, reaches the transition at 908, and he is burning. Bergtroll is having some trouble here just before the transition. He's only good for a triple. Long pieces that will help him much. He's gonna reach the kill screen at 834. He's gonna go for a double, gets the T over, gets the lumber over. 841 for Bergtroll. Oh, but he loses control of the board. He might need to get burning. Lokense at 929. Bergtroll 844. Lokense in the lead, and he is in a better position. Bergtroll unable to recover. Tops out at 846. Lokense takes game number 3 and the match. And yeah, so coming up, let's have a look and show us how far he can go. These players, yeah, look and say just playing it out. Let's see. Oh, okay, there's a Tetris. Oh, it has a couple lumber dependencies, and the lumber doesn't reach 1,028,000, finishing Lokense's game. So Lokense advances into the next round.
We players already. So let's start round 7 losers here on CT1 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Looks like Violet was joining us a bit here in the countdown as well. It was the beginning of 18. I had to poke at each other to be like, okay, how are you playing today? Are you playing really aggressive? Are you playing a bit more casual? Like the opening phase. Later in 19 and 29, we of course get into the bit more aggressive parts where the players really show what they can do. And 29 is, the maxims. Players really just showing how amazing they are. We already saw a bit of a misplacement here on Violet's side that has been solved quite nicely. Not going for the L-tag, I personally would have went for it, but got the bar just a bit later. Or properly done. Also see Tugi going for the Witz, the vertical eyepiece tag setup here in column 9. As you can see, it's 4 high, just waiting for the bar to plug it under. Here's the bar, and Witz fulfilled here on this side. Done. You also have a bit of a radio man or something like that. I believe it's radio. Perfect. Journalist, yeah. Yeah, so yesterday we had a bit of TV, today we have, I don't know what it's for. Radio? French radios. So I'm happy that you have a lot of coverage over here at the CTWC Championships. Currently, Phloxae can actually get a bit of a lead in. Kinda surprising considering that Tugi is arguably the best Austrian and French German-speaking player. Definitely someone to pay attention to. Phloxae has about a 1.5 Tetris lead here currently at lines. So nice opening here by Violet. We have the next short route here. We have had a few of these about 20-piece droughts already. 20-piece droughts are no issue at all to these high-level players, of course. Just interesting to see when they happen pretty often. Just a bit of waiting for the next bars. The boards are currently clean. Violet needs to get 2 long bars or burn the single, using the JPs here to burn the single to get ready for Tetris. Having the bar 225 versus 243. Now the next Tetris Tugi, so 248, 243. It is neck and neck here. At about the halfway point of level 8. At the same lines, the slight lead in favor of Violet, but the lead changes, every Tetris basically. And here's the next bar for Violet. Violet may try to go for the pack here, does get the blue SPs, perfect, and able to pack it in. Well done. Next bar and Tetris here also Violet, while he needs to 2 lines up already. And we have Summer in the chat saying, good luck and fun. Shout outs to Summer, getting up early so that she can watch the WC event here. Violet being a bit higher now on the board, does get the bar, perfect. When you're higher, the drought counter starts ticking. It sometimes can be a bit of a guess of when you should go for the burn, because sometimes burns means that you need to close the well. You can see Violet has the well here closed. In the drought, 17 pieces. Tugi was able to get out of the drought using a Tetris. Violet is not quite there. Is closed. Yeah, okay, going for the safety up is open once again. Could also try to go for like dirty Tetrises that high, but it's really dangerous, and I don't recommend it unless you're like 150k behind. But this early on, generally you should try to avoid the dangerous setups. About 25 lines, the speed will increase onto the level 19 speed. Still not going to be an issue for these rollers. Bit of an early roll on the bar here by Violet. That means left side will have to a few pieces. Hopefully an O piece next. Yes, you can also go like for LJ. Put currently an L piece in, have the LJ dependence. Lots of solution. Yeah, here's the O piece. And SP is into O piece. Nicely done here as well. Next set was for Tugi. Tugi currently at 454, Violet at 467. So we have about a Tetris lead here currently. Violet. Level 29, around the corner. Just a few lines to go before level 19. And here's the bar and transition for Tugi. 503, 541 for Violet. So actually nearly a 2 for Violet. Violet needs to clean up a few lines here though that Tugi didn't have to. This allows Tugi to Tetris in at the same lines. This lead is now a bit smaller. The lines are also getting multiplied. Points by the level that you're on. Bit of a bar hang by Tugi on the left side, but still low enough that he can get everything. Just next, going to Tugi. Tugi now at 586 versus Violet's 01. Violet open again, getting the bar, getting the Tetris into a 630. Nice spin here for Violet. Of course, unless something really horrible happens, otherwise, you do expect double max outs here in the roller match. We have the next drought ticking, now about 30 pieces. Yeah, 29, 30. 30 piece drought here. And we can get out of that. Violet hangs the bar on the left side. Again, still low enough to get pieces over, but now it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Does get the next bar over. Next bar hang, and now that's really high here for Violet. When it looks like bar hang on the right side. Can burn a few lines. Okay, low enough in this tech once again that the right side is accessible. Next bar also goes over well played here by Violet, getting out of the dangerous situation. Lost the lead in the meantime. We have now 745 and 633. So about 2.5 or an 80k lead here to Tugi. Yeah, Suchi is saying good dig here by our friend, our British player Violet. Next piece saying here by Violet though, so this not digging. We're now at the point that feels like we will have to have some level 29 play by Violet to be able to catch up. Tugi is just playing too efficient here in level 19. Violet getting the double. Good. Violet needs to clean this up. There's also not too much more time left here on level 19 speeds. Of course, going for the aggressive Tetris when possible is a good decision. Next Tetris here now going to Violet once again. Oh, next bar hang. It looks like Violet has some issues getting the piece over to the sides completely. Maybe there's like a controller issue with last input just isn't recognized. Maybe she's rolling too quickly. I don't know. What I know is that currently Tugi is closed a bit. So it's about a 1.5 Tetris lead here for Tugi. Next Tetris here going to Violet. 2k difference currently, 2 lines difference. So it's neck and neck here. T-spin set up for Violet by getting the Tugi spin instead. So there's now once again clean up here on Violet's side. Tugi is clean. Wanting to set up for the next Tetris. An 894 transition, 894 transition here for Violet onto level 29. Tugi can't transition using a Tetris, transitioning at 897, so tiny lead in the transition here for Tugi, and Violet can't go to the end. Violet topping out at 896, 896 top out for Violet, which means 1-0 for Tugi. Amazing first game here by players surviving the dangerous situations. Not getting too deep onto level 29, but it's the beginning. There's much more to come. At least 2 more games, and hopefully 4 more games before the match ends. As you know, I always want the best of 5s. Looks like the players are ready, so let's start countdown number 2. It's a 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Once again, the pieces are falling. And you have the first push-down point going to Phloxae. Most of the time they don't make any difference, but especially early on, if you top out early, sometimes you have the same points. And the single push-down point can be the difference. It doesn't really happen again, but sometimes. Tugi needing to clean up a few lines here in the beginning. There's Violet not getting the T spin properly, so few cleanups here now to be done by Violet as well, getting the bar over to the left. Perfect. Needing a bar now for column A, potentially going for the LJ cleanup, which is a bit safer. Don't have to wait as long for the bar. Tugi quite high here and closed and spots, whereas Violet is open currently. Okay, just closed before the bar. Tugi is gonna have to burn quite a lot here on level 18, whereas Violet just got the next bar, and Tetris at 82 versus 32. So about 1.5 Tetris lead back then for Violet. Now it's down to about half a Tetris, but Tugi has played a few lines more. Same lines are played, so barely Tetris lead there for Violet. It is neck and neck here between players. Next Tetris of Violet. Violet is a bit ahead in the sequence. Violet does get the bars before Tugi does, which is why is in the lead currently, but Tugi actually can't go for Tetris here. Here's the next bars. Looks like they are now caught up in the P sequence after Tugi had to play a bit higher. The higher you play, the less time the pieces fall. and just simultaneously left and right here, going on and on, over and over again. We have exactly the same piece currently. May see a bit of a diversion now that Tugi is playing a bit higher once again. Yeah, looks like Tugi is now getting hit in the piece. Playing high, playing dirty, as Violet is clean, getting the bars, and Violet now at 245 versus 169. Next bar, and going to Tugi. Next bar, and Tetris going Violet. We have 214 versus 91. About a 76k lead here. Violet. Next Tetris is happening once again. You burn C side, small miss drop on Violet side. We are still neck and neck in the terms of the wins. Point wise, 5 Tetris lead here for Violet, 270, V84, or just over 110k lead for Violet. Next bar and Tetris going to here. But we have a 133 lead here now for Violet, massive lead to Violet. Yeah, of course, if you want to support the players, we do have a Matcherino. Just type !Matcherino in the chat. You can even see our progress, and I will also pop-ups when you redeem codes and so on stream. Yesterday we didn't have that, so I had to manually look up the Matcherino editions. Now we have it. It's a bit easier to them. At least I hope so. We're getting close to level 19 once again. The speed will increase here in just a few lines, about 4 Tetrises stacked. We have at 116, 117 lines. Next, going to the players. And Violet should most likely get the 600k transition, is basically guaranteed it if one more Tetris. Whereas he is still kind of trying to get at least a high 400. Once the final Tetris here to get a high 400 transition. Massive lead here for Violet. And I see that in the transition. So we have the transition for Violet at 637, 637 transition for Violet, and 483 transition here for Tugi. 150k transition, which is not a small transition. Not a small difference. This is a noticeable difference here for Violet, where Tugi needs to play much more efficient on 19. So Tugi is trying to catch up, but the drought does not make it easy currently. We have about a 22-piece drought, and both players can get out of that using a Tetris. So still 150k difference here in terms of points. Next Tetris here going. Tugi is able to catch up a bit here currently. Also in the piece sequence, so the lead sequence is a bit smaller. Yeah, 150 down to about 130. Is that a small catch up? We're at level 25, so about half of level 19 is currently done. And the lead is still at about 130 here for Violet. Getting the next Tetris in is a bit high and just rest for the bar. Here's the bar for Tugi. Tugi now at 868 versus max out for Violet. Violet has quite nice of a lead here currently. Tugi should easily max out before level 29, and Violet can go for 1.1, 1.2. Yeah, we are level 27, the home stretch before level 28. Next small drought also happening here. Over. Actually, Tugi's board is looking a bit high here. Needs to get down, needs to get a few Tetrises in optimally. One. Yeah, here's the Tetris for Tugi. Into 990 transition into level 29. 990 here for Tugi. Violet is still 2 lines away from the transition. Also having a high board here, but still has over 100k lead here. Tugi currently needs to chase down to 1.15, and Violet is still in, can get a few more points. Let's see if Violet can get off this situation. Right side, nice burns here for Violet, amazing burns here for Violet even. Center cut him 4, but is closed now. Right side no longer accessible, topping out at 1.156. So the goal for... I want to say so the goal is about a 1.56, but didn't work out, and that means we have game number 2 here going to Violet. It is now 1-1 for the players here. It is 1-1. And nice. Goes double max out. Goes in the beginning. We've had Violet getting in max out. And I believe players should be ready. Like, there's just some checking that I will get the confirmation that we play by Sibel. Yeah, now. So let's do once again the 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Game has started. We already have a bit of a cleanup here on Violet's side. Get a few this here to clean this up. Here's the next bar into Tetris for Violet. Violet 27 versus 45, 600 on Tugi's side. Tugi only burned a few lines here. Doesn't look like the piece sequence is too kind currently. Looks a bit tougher to play. Next Tetris here going to Violet though, so Violet now in the lead at the same amount of lines, 53-74, so just under a Tetris lead here for Violet. And you have the GGs in chat for the other game as well as... Oh yeah, that's just the Nightbot, the standard message of, you know, check out all of CTWC socials, and you definitely should. Tugi is really high. Can he get out? He can't. Ouch. Unfortunately, top out here for Tugi. Let's hope that it isn't too early for Tugi. Like a 6:30 top out is quite uncharacteristic here for him. That means you have the 2-1, and next up match point here for Violet. If Violet wins this, she will be in the round 8 or losers semifinals. Tugi still needs to win games, and whoever wins this match will play against the winner between Lokenzi and Bergtroll. Okay, so the players are ready. Let's start the countdown. Here, it's a 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Players have started. Let's hope that they will be a bit kinder to the players. Simul Tetris here. Of course, Violet having the one push down point advantage here now. More attacks happening on Violet's side. Optimally wanting like an O piece here, but can also go for the Z piece tag into a dirty Tetris. So we now have a 97 here for Violet against 94 for Tugi. It looks like Mackenzie versus Bergtroll is finished, and Mackenzie won 3-0 over there on 2. We have a Wit setup here for Violet, fulfilling that. And so whoever wins here will play against Mackenzie next in the losers semis. And quite high, but bar for Violet, nicely done. Needs to fully open up, is fully opened up. Tugi also, well, one high opened up now. Just waiting for the next bar. Gets it into Tetris 131, 194. Tetris here to again 176 to 70. Bit of cleanup here that Violet. Yeah. Or I'll go for, a bit of. No, not going for the dirty Tetris. It is. Those basically neck here. Yep. Point 3 for Tetris difference only. Next Tetris going to 2 once again. Tugi now at 270 versus 254 on Violet's side. Tugi, nice adjustment of the T-piece for the knock. Tetris is also happening here, 367, 91. As you had about a 2/3 done of level 18. We have a 2 Tetris lead here for Tugi. And Tugi needs to win this game to stand the tournament. Otherwise, if Tugi loses, he's out. Violet wins. Violet will be in the round 7 losers semis. I believe next we're gonna play the losers semis over on CT2 and the winner finals over here on C1. That's at least how I expect the schedule to go. I believe there hasn't been an updated one as we are shifting round 7 here today. We also have had a hang and wait, don't tell me that we just had a top out. We also had a top out by Violet, who was trying to figure out the exact schedule. That's not quite the intended result. Label don't work. But that means we have a 2-2, and that means next up we will have the decider between the players. So we have had a 4 for Tugi as well as, which means we can start the next game here in a 3, 2, 1, Tetris. We have also Asku saying Tugi is hella goated at stacking. True. Goaty is amazing. Lucy in the chat saying Tugi missing so many Tugi spins. It's unfortunate, you know, you have a spin named after yourself and you can't even go for it. A slight over tap of that S piece here on Violet's side, I believe. If Violet can clean that up quickly. Next set is here to Tugi. Tugi now in the lead against Violet. You have 47 against 8. Next cleanup here on Violet's side. Violet not quite done. Could try to play one high. Needs a bar next on column 1. Does get the bar, but yeah, not the kindest pieces here for Violet's board currently, which has led to Tugi being able to get about a 120k lead, about a 5 Tetris lead here to Tugi now. Violet, yeah, being on the left side here currently, waiting for the next bar for the next Tetris as we slowly but surely get to the half point of level 18. About 50 lines now played. Next left side Tetris here for Violet. We have about a 4 Tetris difference now. Next Tetris to Tugi once again. 278, 164. Oh, nice adjustment of that but is here on Tugi's side. Drought counter also sticking once again just to 19 this time, so it's barely a drought at all. Got a few burns here. Violet side as Violet overtaps that red Z here. This is now a bit dangerous here for Violet. Not height-wise, but like losing so many points. You can see now a 160k lead here for Tugi. Violet still high, still needs to clean this up, is taking singles here and there. Can't afford any misplacement here. But is taking good burns here. He's showing us how to properly clean up a stack. Ooh, the bar to the left, next by the center is now really high. These piece to the left does not work out. That means we have a top out and a 3-2-2 for Tugi. Tugi getting a pretty clutch win here. He advances to losers, semis. We will see him leave over on CT2 in just a bit.